Keego Harbor is getting ready for all of the winter celebrations to come with their annual Winter Wonderland event. Winter Wonderland Park is a seasonal community celebration hosted by Keego Harbor Parks Rec at Rose Sorter Park. The event takes place on Friday, December 5th at 6 p.m., bringing families together to enjoy the annual lighting of the park. Joining us this morning on the Splash Live to talk about it is Kirsten Sonneville-Douglass of Keego Harbor Parks Rec. Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning, Jake. Thanks for having me.
Of course, always love to talk about great stuff happening in Keego Harbor, and this is one of those events that I truly think everybody looks forward to every single year. Talk about the origins of the Winter Wonderland Park. How did it all get started?
Oh, it was revamped because of COVID. Prior to COVID, it was a big to-do in DPW. We had to move all, and this was actually before I was on the commission, all the police cars, all of the equipment had to be moved out of DPW. They did an amazing job of lighting up DPW. They had crafts, Santa came. It was a wonderful event. We had to revamp it because of COVID, right? We couldn't gather, and we're technically Parks and Rec. So I threw out an idea saying, what if we lit up the park? And I'm forever thankful for Leslie Clark because she took that idea and made it happen. She's out there measuring and researching different lights, and I'm so thankful for her. So every year it's gotten better. So since 2022, I believe, is the first one that we had. We keep adding to it, and it's just magical. If you have the chance to see it, it's wonderful.
It is a beautiful thing, and it's great to hear of all of the planning that goes into making this lighting ceremony just right for everybody. So you said this has been going on for a few years now. How would you say this event has grown or changed since the previous years, and what makes this year, 2025, so special?
It takes time for new events to kind of take hold. Since coming on the commission, one of my missions was to kind of make sure that our calendar was solid. I don't know if that's the right word, but that this is always our Winter Wonderland will kick off on the first Friday of December. So that way we're not sitting there going, is it this Friday? Is it the next Friday? It's always going to be the first Friday of December. And then just word of mouth. And the first time people, walking around or driving around, you can actually see it from Cass Lake at night when it's dark, right? People come by every night. When you're around, you'll see someone in the park. It's just wonderful bringing community, even not just for the event, but through the whole month of December.
That's right. It sets the tone for the month to come. I mean, the holiday season brings so much joy to everybody, and it's events like these that really help kick it off just right. Kirsten, what can families expect when they arrive at Rose Sorter Park for the lighting celebration?
Well, if they come just a few minutes before 6, it'll be dark. We will do a countdown to light the park up, and then we just celebrate with some music. We've got barrels where people can roast marshmallows. We'll have hot dogs, some hot chocolate. There is a fun Keego Land game so that people can take spinners and have tasks that when they're walking around the park or around the path. What else? Just being around community is so wonderful.
It absolutely is, and that sounds like so much fun for all the families that are going to be attending this event. Now, of course, with a lot of community events, there's also a greater purpose. You guys are going to be doing some great work at this event to support the Open Door Outreach Center. Can you describe how that partnership came to be and how the donations are going to be supporting local families?
Yeah, when we were continuing to revamp this or add to this event, we thought about the season of lights and the season of giving. And to help our community, one of our commissioners at the time, Jackie Van Dox, and I want to thank her for her work, partnered with Open Door Outreach Center. And so we do a food drive all the month of December, and people can bring their non-perishable food items to City Hall, but they can also bring it to the event, and we'll make sure that it gets to the center.
All great things being done in Keego Harbor. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Kirsten Sonneville-Douglass of the Keego Harbor Parks Rec team about the annual Winter Wonderland Park event that's going to be coming up very, very soon on Friday, December 5th at 6 p.m. Now, Kirsten, we talked about this a little bit, but truly with events like these, you want to make sure that there's something for everybody here. How do you ensure that the event is accessible and welcoming for residents of all ages?
So there's activities for little ones. I mean, who doesn't like to make a s'more, right? So that's for everyone. But we make sure that these are free events so that there are no barriers when it comes to finances, and that we just want to make sure it's available for the community. It's only an hour long, so it's not a huge time commitment either, but it's fun. We've had adults going around playing the Candyland game and said it was just really fun to hit one of the spots and then they had to sing a Christmas carol or something like that. So it's just really enjoyable for everybody.
It's only an hour long, but so much can happen in that time period to really make a difference. And how do you hope the event really strengthens community connections in Keego Harbor?
Just wanting to get our community out and about. Part of it also is the volunteerism. This weekend, our team was out there busy setting it up. We'll be out there again this next Saturday, next Sunday at noon. So if people are available to help out, we can always use another hand, but it really is about bringing our community together, whether it's serving our community or just actually bringing them together to hang out and build that community.
That's right. And we want as many community members to be helping out with this event as possible. And even if they're not able to, let's say they're not able to attend that event, something else is going on that night, how can community members participate beyond attending? For example, maybe contributing to the food drive.
So the food drive is all this whole month. So they can bring their non-perishable food items to City Hall, but people can join just by, liking us on Facebook, being plugged in, knowing what's happening with us, because we have people who have little ones, and so they have activities that speak to them, like the egg hunt. But then we have adults, maybe some retirees that are like, I just want to hang out at a park and listen to some music and have some good food and hang out with some friends and check out some local artisans. And then the block party is for them. But it's something for everyone. We're trying to make sure that we do have that and we hit all those points.
Something for everybody with the Winter Wonderland event in Keego Harbor. But out of everything that takes place with this event, Kirsten, what do you hope families, the biggest thing, what do you hope families take away from the event as they head into the holiday season?
They have fun. That's my biggest one, is that they have a good time and that we think of others with that whole giving. So I'm hoping that just bringing a can of something to the City Hall or to the event will help another family in need.
You're right. All great things that can be done. Last question before we wrap things up, Kirsten. We have this event happening on December 5th. Can you give us maybe a little bit of insight of some other things that might be taking place with Keego Harbor throughout the rest of December and maybe even into the next year?
So that wraps up for December. Unless you want to come to a Parks and Rec meeting, we'd love to have you. But we do have our Taste of Keego, which is our restaurant week that will happen at the end of January, and that is January 26th. Starts 26th and goes for a week.
All right, lots to look forward to in Keego Harbor and lots of holiday fun on the horizon. Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thanks, Jake.